Open says me. What's going on, everybody? Early morning. It's the reflector. Here to reflect what you choose to neglect. It's about 6:22, nigga. Alright. Speaking of different goddamn ethnicities and races and languages and regions, let's speak on these things going on in the world right now. So basically, there's being new laws enforced based on what these people have been observing y'all doing on social media for the past like 3 to 4 years. So everybody has been talking about how you basically are able to purchase certain things that's cheaper and either sell it or just keep putting other people on about how you get things for cheap. Because you most likely go to another country that they don't sell that shit for that much. You know what I mean? So this is why a lot of Americans is moving out somewhere else because it's cheaper. But a lot of Americans argue like, well, but they're not like here. They're not established like us, which means this since you're here on this land, you deserve to get taxed basically. Just same way in California or Florida, the nice parts of our region, it's not the whole region, but it's like the things inside of it, they will tax your ass. They blame it on the climate, but it's like, yeah, it's the climate, but they're trying to say you being in America is you're blessed to be here. So pay God or pay your dues to God, right? That's because it's their land. So they're saying pay them more. Thing is, Canada, on top of us, they actually doing it better though. And it's reversed on the east. On the east, it's like the southern parts is doing better. Like South Africa doing better than the upper Africa, and then they doing better than the motherfucking Chinas and the Russias and the Englands. You know what I mean? Like, cause the Englands and stuff and all that, they're barbaric, yet they're trying to be all about business, or they're trying to establish something, but all they can end up doing is killing each other or doing some, like I said, barbaric shit. Americans do barbaric shit too. It's just, it can be excused because we know how to use linguistics. We know how to use other things better than other like countries. Now, that makes us head ass at the same time. So we'll be the main ones eating too much. We'll be the main ones coping with mental problems the worst ways and shit, but just because we can type shit. Shout out to New Mail. Bro, you have a very radiant order. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to New Mail. I need some new mail with some money in it. But yeah, man, like, so if we get into it though about us telling on ourselves or people getting on social media that's not your site, you barely get paid anything even if you did make a lot of views. I'm talking about Instagram, TikTok, anything, or YouTube. So really what you're doing is kind of over. Now, if you're going to expose something, you should just expose the government shit. Which government shit is, look at it for what it is. It's keeping certain people in a bind based on where they come from, the mental stereotypes people put on them, and then the people that are the gatekeepers, which is the managers. Like, the government's keeping the mental stronghold on these people because these people are the actual people that you see that you got to get through the door through them. So hiring manager, it could be manager, lead. It could be the fucking executive person. No matter how big the store is, small, you know what I'm saying? But you dream it, you get it. Collaboration, dude, brand collaboration, that paid. Yeah, right. Like, and it's not like, I'm not sitting here for a handout like, oh, somebody, now me being me, I'm like, yeah, I need a motherfucking deal. There's so many things I buy consistently with my Taurus moon ass that I need to flaunt it out. Because why every time I buy something that people don't know about, they always ask me about it, So it's like I can help people know what the fuck. Because I know I want people to know some shit. I mean, I know I would want to know something if I didn't know it. Anyways, so yeah. So y'all people talking about buying things from China on these websites, shit like that. Now, and y'all was posting about it. Let me make it another example how we told on each other. Okay, self-checkout. Self-checkout and cash out. So remember, cash out was the first thing everybody did on social media that actually worked, where damn, you can blow up. But it's really just teamwork. We're all normal people, not getting told nothing, not telling us no laws and what's wrong or right. Because what's right is helping somebody else. So people used to post their Cash App on Reels. Niggas would get sent like $500 because everybody together, dollar shit's gonna add up, you know? Took that shit off real quick. Now even Cash App got sold. I'm not saying Cash App got sold because of this, but Cash App changed its owners. So now you can't even just make a Cash App easy. Like I've been trying to make another Cash App. They talking about your identity verification. I'm like, bitch, how I ain't got no identity, but my shit work everywhere else, you know, when they check IDs and stuff. So it's like, but it's just, we'll build a lot of restrictions whenever we're looking at it like it's easy. So the moment, and then they can see what we're doing. So we don't have no private behind closed doors thing, which it's not really even allowed like that. It's low key a law that you can't even have gatherings in a public place. So, you know, but we gotta wiggle our way through there. Cause you know me, this is private, what I'm doing right here. But yet, I'm not showing, like I'm almost basically putting a flashlight on everything they be trying to hold, which is in plain sight. But it's like when I turn on the light, they right here in your face. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just telling everybody what we all know to be, so nobody confused and nobody won't get like depressed, wanna set back, feel stuck. All these energies that kind of we always get put on based on you ain't get picked, based on all these mental blockages already in front of you and shit like that. Now we all supposed to go through life and go through that shit. Not supposed to, but you going to have to because you came here to grow. These spirits that's ahead of us so happen to get a little bit ahead to be an authority position. So now we got to go in their way. We got to do education their way. We got to conversate their way. We got to, you know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah, y'all can't be exposing y'all goddamn self too much. So yeah, Cash App was one thing. Took that shit off real quick. You can't even do that shit no more. You can't even post, you can't even use other sites to promote your other websites. So like a dating site, you can't even put your motherfucking Cash App. You can't put your motherfucking your social medias. It's the stupidest shit ever. But okay, and then the last one. This is the one that I just seen, right? So Donald Trump said he's gonna do 100% tariffs. If you don't know what that is, it's just simply if you buy out of this country from a merchant out of this country, then you gotta pay the same shit you would pay here, which is 100% tax. Which I heard it was double. But they're basically saying, well, you're bringing it over here, and y'all are associating with us, so we don't want nobody getting ahead, being able to buy a whole bunch of stuff and resell it for expensiveness. Yet, this is exactly the energy that people in powers and positions did. They got it for cheap. Way back then, they basically assigned people to have certain land. Time went by, history changed, inflated, so now they just bumped up the prices. And then it's just like, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But let me read it. Shout out to Carter Emerson. What are you talking about? I'm talking about what the title says. How we be telling on each other. Not each other, but we tell on all of ourselves to the government for them to make more laws just so you can feel restricted and complain. Because y'all don't realize the government, aka anytime you, federalness, broadcasting anything, anybody controlling any big, where people are able to be on their platform, and it's a lot of people, that's federal, period. It used to be taken as like a little joke, social media. Now, that shit is like, actually, you can get in trouble now. So Young Thug got in trouble through online. So get it. Shout out to Miku's Lion. Oh yeah, shout out to the Lions, man. Madrid. Hi, from Spain, bro. Where are you from? I'm from America. You know what I'm saying? We talking about how where I stay, people, they kind of be, it's enforced that this is the motherland, so your ass gonna get taxed. Yet you were born here. And then now, when you trying to go to outside of your region, outside of America, or outside of your country, now you gotta pay extra taxes as if you were here already, as if we're not already here paying hella tax. So it's just kind of like, the shit kind of lame. But all I know is I'm just tired of everybody acting like this is a happy-go-lucky shit. I feel like the only thing you can really talk on social media about if you're trying to put people on and then get bend the rules, get around, you just only can talk about days people having sales, because that's the only thing that's like they actually, like, the government's actually letting people have sales. Because they know business eventually you can't sell everything. They know eventually you're gonna get too many items in. So all of these things basically saying you gotta let go of your merchandise. You gotta let go of your resources for a cheaper price so you can start over again. Not start over, but redo the same routine. So it's like, but anyway, that's the only time you need to fucking be talking about something that you putting somebody else on, bro. You know what I'm saying? What up, kitty? Kitty of the kitty, that's funny. And then there's a lion person next to you. Big cats are my favorite animal. My favorite one in particular is a leopard. But yeah, I hope you're a girl, kitty of the kitty. I hope you're a girl. Shout out, man. We too deep. We all too deep. But yeah. So anyways, this is just a little worldly talk about shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody should know this by now, that like this a lot of these things ain't for you. So you really gotta just look out for yourself. Have a partner or have some group of people that y'all all on the same page. Y'all not kind of one foot in, one foot out, kind of supporting the shit that you know you shouldn't be doing because it's kind of appealing to your desire at the moment. Yet you know you need to be more distant from this system, kind of like, because if not, you gonna see the setbacks, and it's like it's gonna be a situation where it's your fault, basically. So then that's what I mean by this world be staying under depression and shit, because in uptightness. You know what I mean? But anyway, remember, it never don't. I don't like when old people say nobody gonna give you a handout, because a person can give you a handout. Now, what happens after that when it comes into guilt tripping and all the other energy, human shit, that's different. But these people, which they look at themselves like another level, they're not regular human energy, where they feel like they enforce things to you. You know, they use the excuse of it's for the better for everybody, all for one face, and one for all. Really, that's not good. But they're never having our best interests, no matter what laws they come up with. Nigga, they even well, where I am, they made it legal for you to have weed, right? Not weed. They made it legal to have a certain type of weed, so THCA, Delta, not whatever. You can buy that from a store. They did that for like a year. Now, turn around, changed the rules, said no. Now nobody can even have no type of weed. And okay. This is the two things I've seen that they did, because it's like they do a test runs, they do experiments and see where it leads everybody. Because the laws they be making, sometimes they be thinking, or they make it look like it's for our liking, it's for our goodness. Okay, so go back. They made it where you get a certain amount of weed. I mean, you have to get, if you get pulled over with a certain amount of weed now, a bigger amount, now you can go to jail. Before, it was if you get any type of weed on you, you going to jail. Or the officer can choose to, you know. It really always depends on the officer. So, but now, it's where you have to have a certain amount, and if you don't have that certain amount, they'll just give you a ticket, like it always should be, not go to fucking jail for a flower. So they did that where over time, they kept probably having people get pulled over, They probably had a certain amount of weed that didn't go over that threshold. So they kept making statistics out of all it. All of these cities, all of these counties, seeing all of these people get pulled over, have weed with them and shit like that. Boom. They made it where, okay, if you have edibles and dab pens, felony. Felony means way bigger charge, and it's not just a slap on the wrist, not misdemeanor. So it's basically them saying, no, nigga, we're just trying to root out the motherfucking drug dealers and the buyers because we still don't even like this shit for real. And if we're gonna sell it or make it okay, we're gonna have these stipulations, have to only have a certain amount of THC, and we gotta make it where we selling it to your ass. So it's probably taxing you about $5 to $10 more than what the street price would be. So you know what I'm saying? None of these laws, but when this first came out, where you have to have a certain amount of weed, we're like, yeah, you'll get a ticket. Like, yay. I mean, I still like that law, but and then they're like, okay, after that, now, what's the other shit I said? What's the other shit? Boom, you can even buy it at a motherfucking store now. Yay. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up being backfire just to see where all of the numbers went, like how many people had this much, how many people this, that. So now they realize, okay, so everybody smokes now. So at this point, we can just tax the land because they're doing what we don't want them to do. That's it. Like, so this is why you got little mini soldiers, white people, or mini Mexican older. They're usually older. It can be middle aged though. It's like the 20, like 30-year-olds and shit like that. They will be the main ones enforcing these laws that's putting on their mind, but they're lower. They're not even the one coming up with the shit. And then there's gonna be the ones to overly represent that they don't like certain shit that's been put on. These people know that, and they know we're going through human shit, so they can just sit back and just see where we go with this shit, which is probably just disagreements, arguing, protests, racism, prejudice. It's everything that's just splitting us apart. So, like I said, all of these laws is not for us. If you got anybody in this motherfucking America thinking that stop messing with them other countries is the best thing to do, you're stupid. Because in reality, anybody that came in here unwarranted, it was warranted. It was just a certain worker that had ties that was able to just let them in. That's it. That's how it always is. Jailbreaks, anything. It's because there was an inside person. Just like anything, shit. Anything. But shit. But all I can say is you know, none of this shit even matters though. So, you know, everybody keep your 1-2 up and just know what's going on. It's the Reflector. Hit the reflect. You know what I'm saying? I'm out.